Raspberries? Oh. Okay. So.
My bad, Pete. Sorry. It's alright.
Dang. So, I decided to make a documentary because I have like almost 300k followers, right? And I posted a video about and how tattoos are ritualistic. And this girl went and commented, I don't know why someone would risk getting a tattoo and their health. I love my skin just the way it is. And I was like, eh. So instead of me making her feel bad, because what she said was kind of ignorant, I decided to make a documentary so I can educate. So here we go. I'm definitely a lot more spiritual than most people think, and I am perfectly fine with that because to me, my spiritual journey is 100% natural. I'm not walking around trying to look like Mahatma Gandhi or Buddha, even though, yes, I am becoming a priestess in my religion, which is Lukumi, an Afro-Cuban religion. Today I am traveling roughly 60 miles round trip to Caldwell, New Jersey. My tattooist of now 12 years actually lives out here, and prior to this he actually was in a tattoo shop. But now that I know him more on a personal level, I am traveling to his home where he has renovated his basement into a tattoo parlor. So you guys are gonna get a behind the scenes view of my process and how I get my tattoos done.
Micheal Mateo. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm from Jersey, and I'm a tattoo artist. What made me become a tattoo artist was I used to airbrush years ago in my younger days in Jersey City. I had a friend of mine named Juan Vasquez, aka Cheese, very well known in downtown Jersey City. He was my friend and mentor. He taught me a lot about airbrushing, and he used to tell me that the way I shaded in my artwork was that of a tattoo artist, and I should get into tattooing. I was nervous about that because I was like, there's no way you could erase on skin if I mess up. But he got a hold of some equipment. We just practiced, and I pursued it from there. So he's the one that definitely sparked that fire, and led me to this path that I'm on today. I've been tattooing probably 15 plus years now, and I still strive to be on that level. It's just something that I work hard at every day. What sets me apart from other tattoo artists, my attention to detail, very meticulous on size and placement of the tattoo. It has to complement the person's body. I just don't slap a tattoo on anywhere, any old size, just to get it done and make the money. I'm not about that. I'm more about complementing the body and letting it all flow and make sense with either previous tattoos or just it's within itself, so it just looks good on the body.
Pick up my grandkids from school, they're gonna be like, oh my god, is that your grandma? That's what I want. That's what I strive for. Like, yeah, if anyone's bullying my kid, I'm gonna show up. I'm a tattoo.
That's right.
Be like, who's the one? Who's the one? I don't know, I'll do after that. I don't wanna go to jail, but yeah, just scare them.
Until the other grandma comes with tattoos.
Oh damn it,
bigger than you.
They're big as well. I mean, see what happened was your child forgot his lunch. Talk my way out of it. Oh yeah, this one is. It's a little sweaty because it's in here. It's like sliding. Whew. It's a little painful. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 6. It's not horrible. I feel like when you keep tatting the area, I kind of just get numb to the tattoo. But when you go to a new spot, sometimes it's like, ow. Aftercare doesn't stop after the first clean. As you can see, Mike is here putting tattoo film over my tattoo. What this is going to do is stop germs and bacteria from getting to the tattoo, so it's keeping a second skin, so to speak, over the tattoo. Tattoos can roughly take anywhere from 2 weeks to a month to fully heal, and the tattoo film is initially to ward off infection, and the better your tattoo heals, the longer that it will actually last. So I also make sure that I take off any jewelry that I have during my tattoo, because jewelry can also hold bacteria and you do not want that getting into your tattoo.
If anyone likes my work and would like to book me for a tattoo or consultation, you can reach me at shades_of_grade76 or at Mateo M312@gmail.com.
Your skin is essentially an open wound after getting a tattoo, so this is why tattoo aftercare is literally just as important as the tattoo itself. Tattoo aftercare reminds me that beauty can come out of patience as well as self-care. And this is why I actually decided to create my own tattoo balm that was not only spiritual but made for melanated skin. I can't talk about tattoos and not mention my hometown, New York City. The Big Apple has more tattoo shops than anywhere else in the US. And in a survey done by the Department of Health in 2018, they state that 31.4% of adults are sporting tattoos. That's roughly 2.7 million people, which is equal to the entire population of Chicago. New York City has the highest population density of any major city, with over 27,000 people per square mile. So in 1961, when tattooing was banned in New York City due to the hepatitis B outbreak, this did not stop people from getting tattooed. Tattoo studios were still operating illegally out of private apartments. And it makes you wonder, with such a crazy and scary public health concern, why were people still getting tattoos? In the 90s, even though tattoos were banned, you'll see rappers heavily decorated with tattoos. Even rappers such as Fabolous and Dave East have deep meanings for their tattoos.
My favorite tattoos is my kids. I got my son and my other son back here. They're my favorite tattoos. I gotta get my daughter though, man.
Yeah.
That's coming soon.
Awesome.
I grew up on Bob. My pops played Bob. Peter Tosh, the Whalers, all that. I grew up on that. So that's what really, Bob was like somebody that inspired me. You know what I'm saying?
Are you from Caribbean descent?
I love
or
Bob.
Jamaican?
Yeah, I'm Bayesian.
Yes.
My dad from Barbados.
Hey.
My mom's Dominican, but
Nice.
I'm a mix.
Kiefer?
What?
I'm from Guyana. Kiefer is from Dominica.
Oh, y'all West Indian?
Yeah, we're West Indian.
Hey, I'm from BIM.
Yes.
Big BIM. Bayesian thing, you know.
Yes, and ting.
Rihanna.
Thank you. Cappuccinos. One, you have coconut milk or oat milk?
We have oat, almond, and soy.
I'll do oat milk. I've gotten some negative responses when it came to my tattoos. People are very quick to try to put you in a box once you have tattoos. There's a lot of stereotypes that if you have tattoos, you're a troublemaker, you're a delinquent, you're someone who's into gangs and violence, you're someone who's uneducated, you're someone who's ghetto. It can be unassuming for some, while others, it's all that they see. How many sugars you want? Usually 3 or 6, right?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'll do 3. Let's get it. They never take the time to look past the tattoos and see that there's a story in the ink. and I'm literally telling people my story without actually having to tell people my story. So I wanted to enlighten others with this short documentary. It's my first documentary. I know there'll be more. However, this is a wound of mine that I'm now transforming into wisdom. That's good. It's not like Italy, but it's good. Alright, so speaking of Italy, I want to say 50% of the population of Italy is tatted. It's so ingrained in their culture. When I was there for about 2 months living, and I remember seeing grandmas with just sleeves. I was just like, being there and seeing how it was so accepting made me accept my tattoos even more. It made me want to get tattooed even more. Being in Italy and being immersed in culture that did not frown down upon people being heavily tattooed, and it was more so like, oh, let me see, bella. I was like, alright, I need to embrace who I am and not let the constructs of Christianity and Catholicism stop me from being who I am, because this is how I express myself, right? One of my favorite tattoos that I got in Italy is this one. Caro siete volte, mi realizzo otto. And it means, make sure I get this right, fall down 7 times, stand up 8. And the reason why I got that is because all my life it's been literally struggle after struggle after struggle. And a lot I never made public. Fought a lot of battles, fought a lot of demons behind scenes. So this tattoo is reminding me of my inner strength, right? And it's the reason why I have so many tattoos. Tattoos aren't just for decor. My first tattoo that I got is right on my ribs, right? And I got it as soon as I turned 18. It was on 42nd Street near Puerto Rican. And I remember I used to clean homes for my grandmother, and she'd give me a piece of it. And I took about $100 that I made from working with her, hopped on the bus from Jersey, went straight to, got off the bus in Puerto Rican, and I looked for a tattoo shop. And I remember going up the stairs, went up to this room, and the guy was like, what do you want? I was like, I want this. And I got Love Conquers All going down my waist, right? Or my ribs. And the guy's like looking at me, he's like, your first tattoo? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you sure? You want to put it on your ribs? I'm like, yeah, do it. The reason I got it was because I had my heart broken for the first time in my life. I was 18. I had my first boyfriend freshman year of college, and I even lost my virginity to him. This was like, at the time, the love of my life. I wanted to marry him and everything, head over heels. And met his parents. He gave me a promise ring, and I thought that was it. Like, he was the one. And he went home during winter break, and while he was away, I discovered that he rekindled the flame with his longtime high school sweetheart. And I asked him if he was coming back to campus, and the answer was no. Until this day, I never saw him again. My heart, it physically hurt. They say heartbreak, like, it's actual physical pain. And I remember not eating, not sleeping. I broke down in ShopRite, fell on the floor crying, and I decided to get this tattoo to remind me that at the end of the day, love is the most powerful thing on this planet. And I still do believe that. And the reason I got it on my ribs, knowing that it was a painful place, because I'm the type to fight pain with pain. But that's the way I overcome. I overcame my demons and my traumas and my heartbreaks. I fought pain with pain. So that's why you see a lot of these tattoos. Anytime I was going through something in my life, I got a tattoo. And the tattoo didn't have to correlate with what I was experiencing. The tattoo and the process of getting the tattoo and the artwork and the pain, it all was to help me overcome my current adversity. So Another one of my tattoos that I love is this Ganesha. So Ganesh in Hinduism, he is the remover of obstacles. And one of the mantras tied to him is Om Gan Ganapate Nama. So after my first tattoo, I got a second, and that was maybe junior year of college. And it was this Native American woman. Since my grandmother was really big in healing and using nature, and you know, being in a Caribbean household, you get a headache or you have a stomach ache, we didn't run to the cupboard and find medicine. You know, if you have headache, ginger tea, stomach ache, we'll do like sometimes a clean out or gyrating. There's so many things we did. Molasses, right? So I got the Native American to symbolize my healing capabilities and natural medicine and how much I admired Native American culture, right? And she looks like me a bit. And I kept on going from there. My intention was to just get this. I did not want a sleeve. I didn't want to be heavy decorated because I didn't want to look manly. However, there was a lot came out from designing an art piece. To me, personally, it tells my story. It is a roadmap of where I've been and where I'm going. And it's, what I love about it is that it's sacred to me. If I'm walking down the street, people are not going to know what it means. They may, but I know what it means. And there's so much power in having that type of privacy where I'm expressing myself outwardly. And it can only truly be interpreted by me, unless you ask me. Thank you. It was Amazon. They can contact you. I got text messages from them. They can't access. She asks, "Are you home?" I can't access the building. What the hell? I heard her ringing the bell in the background. They can. What kind of? Anyway. Wait, is it recording?
Yes.
Whatever. So I needed to lighten the mood. All right. Moms took care of me when I was around 10. She had me very young. Got pregnant at 15. My dad passed away when I just turned 1. November 27th, 1992. He was killed in Brooklyn, New York. Shot. So my grandma, my uncle, my aunt, a lot of people had their hand in taking care of me. However, there was a point in time where I lived with my mom full time. And at the end of the day, I realized she was a kid raising a kid. So she used a lot of fear and a lot of force when it came to taking care of me and being the girl I am. You know, I needed love, I needed empathy, I needed nurturing. So her heavy-handedness, her yelling, her screaming, her hitting me didn't sit well with me, and I internalized a lot. And then I have eczema. You can see some here still, but I had it really bad as a kid. I had it on my face, my hands, the back of my legs, behind my elbows, back of my neck. It was everywhere. It sucked. So you know how kids are. You know, they thought I was contagious. No one wanted to interact with me. So between going to school and going home, I had no safe space. And because of that, I started to internalize a lot of pain, a lot of hardship. You know, even dealt with DIFUS, family services coming into my home, trying to figure out if I should be taken from my home. And tattooing, instead of self-infliction, I decided to tattoo. Because people don't realize there is a science behind it. When you're getting tattooed, you're releasing a lot, right? And tattooing can be very therapeutic in a sense too, because you're sitting sometimes 3 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours with someone else, laying in a black chair, and you're just talking to this person and they're listening. And this is why I'm so fond in having a tattoo artist that you trust, that you admire, that you vibe with, because they in a sense are like a therapist. And my tattooist, Micheal Mateo, that you guys saw, I shared so much with him. He has seen my journey, right? From this 21-year-old girl, like, tattoo me, to this 31-year-old. And through that process of speaking about my problems and someone wasn't judging me, I healed a lot. So I've never been to therapy. People always ask, have you been to therapy? Have you seen a therapist? No, my tattooist was my therapist, you know? So the tattoos, instead of, you know, self-inflicting pain on myself, I tattooed myself. Well, I didn't tattoo myself. I got tattooed. So these tattoos remind me of a lot that I was overcoming. And this particular hand is my healing hand. I do a lot of healing work with women. So all this tribal work that you see, it represents my spirituality. The cowrie shell. In Africa, they use that as currency, so that's super important. You can see I wear it a lot. This is South African tribal marks. It's going down my Saturn finger, so it protects me when I'm doing healing work so I don't absorb other people's energy. Knowing that New York City has so much culture, you already know that the tattoos you find on its community is going to be greater than skin deep. The Department of Health also stated that blacks and Latinos make up the majority of tattooed people in the city. 42.4% are Latino, while 31% are blacks. Now, if you've ever been to New York City, you know we are the most culturally diverse city there is. And since 1990, New York City has grown over 1 million people. We have more people of West Indian ancestry than any other city outside of the West Indies. We have the largest Puerto Rican population in the world, and more Dominicans live in New York City than any other city in the world, barring Santo Domingo. Spirituality often refers to one's personal journey. It is going back to the root of who you are. It is self-identification. It is self-betterment, self-expression. So even though you may not be getting a tribal ritual tattoo, at the end of the day, tattoos are ritualistic. It is more than skin deep, right? Because you are penetrating that skin over and over, and that shedding of the skin, and at the end of the day, you have an intention with that tattoo. Even if you're like, oh, it doesn't mean anything, it means something. It's a reason why you got it. So at the end of the day, spirituality shows up differently for many people. It can be someone going to an ashram. It could be someone becoming a Buddhist. It could be someone initiating into a religion. It could be someone getting tattooed. Tattooing is not a new age thing. It's been around for centuries. If we go back to the motherland, Africa, many tribes, men and women alike, get tattoos, and it can indicate everything from social status. It can indicate a girl crossing over into womanhood, right? One of the tribes in West Africa that I'm so fond of with their tattoos is the Fulani women. So like I mentioned before, when the girls step into womanhood and they are ready for marriage, they get tattoos, and it's so beautiful, and to them they see that as beauty. And there's so much intention that goes into the tattooing. Everything from the wood, the herbs that they use to put on the wound afterwards, the drumming, the whole ritual behind it. There's so much ache, so much power that goes into it. So, and this is only in Africa. There's other countries as well that also dive into this, right? So to conclude, I truly feel like because in the past, in these rich cultures such as West Africans, such as Japanese, people in Thailand, people in New Guinea, people in New Zealand, tattoos are ingrained in their culture. And I believe through generations, it slowly transformed to the point where now people in America, whether you're in New York, LA, Chicago, Texas, and everything else in between, the importance and the weight of tattoos are there. However, the the atmosphere and the way it's done has changed. However, there's still that weight, that importance, that need for self-expression there through tattoos, and that's never going to go away. So tattoos are not skin deep. They have meaning, they have purpose, they have power. All over the world, tattooing has established itself as a means of spirituality, and even though it still may be taboo to some and frowned down by some, it is the way of life for others such as me. That is all.